What is going on, folks? I'm JD Tierney, owner of Southpaw Laser Concepts. This is my beautiful co-host and wife, Kat.
Can I introduce myself?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm a respiratory therapist and mom of 3, which means during the day I'm doing CPR, and at night I'm doing JD.
So we're going to go ahead and throw this out at the very beginning that there is going to be mature content. This is definitely not meant for children. This is Tales from the Bar Stool, not Tales from the Crib. Tales from the
Crypt?
Something. It's very unscripted, by the way. So just be prepared for a bunch of
really inappropriate, unforeseen comments. Exactly.
So tonight we're going to be interviewing somebody I've known for about 3 years. Really great guy, PhD, Air Force veteran, just all around badass. He worked in the porn industry for a while. We'll be getting into that for sure. Robert Garcia, great dude, lives in San Diego, California. He'll be joining us shortly. Before that, though, thank you all for joining us. We definitely appreciate you joining us on the maiden voyage. We're going to start off. I'm going to make our tonight's drink, which is an old-fashioned, and I'm going to be using this Blanton's whiskey, which was a gift from a good friend of ours, Cindy, last week. So I'm going to walk you through it. There's a couple different ways old-fashions can get made. This is the way I'm going to do it. But let's go ahead and boom. At the very bottom there, you can see all the ingredients you're going to need for an old-fashioned. We're going to start off with the sugar, half teaspoon of sugar, or if you want, just 1 cube. Where did I put my water?
So
you mix in your water here.
JD is going to model the sugar. He bought solidified sugar and is going to break it up instead of buying sugar already broken up, because apparently that's the old-fashioned. So
the sugar doesn't taste the same if it's pre-broken.
And while he's doing that, if y'all are drinking something, go ahead and give us a shout out. Go ahead and make some comments so we can see what you're making and drinking as well.
So Kat likes hers with the cherry.
Gone but not forgotten. I don't care. I'm bringing it
so
back.
Once you get the sugar and the water mixed together, you're going to muddle it. Muddle is just a really fancy word to crush up and crunch up and mix together. So we're going to go ahead and muddle up this cherry here.
Plus, I thought a cherry was fitting. We're kind of popping our cherry on this podcast thing, so why not? All right, let's take a look. Aww. So Wade said the boring Garcia family mother now that we have met his sister. Oh, we're going to have to see what Rob thinks about that when we bring him on.
So next thing, 3 dashes of bitters. If you've never had bitters before, make sure that you pull a part of your retirement funds out, because this fucking bottle is stupid expensive for bitters. Bitters is $20 a damn bottle for this.
Almost. Yeah. And so that's the aromatic bitters. If you get the non-aromatic bitters, so you don't want to smell it or something, it's like half price, but they were out of that. Thank you. The closest liquor store to our house. That's they don't get a shout out because they're expensive and they don't pay me. So there's that.
So you're putting in 2 ounces of whatever your whiskey of choice is. Tonight, ours is Blanton's. After that, you ice it down. If you're really fancy, you can go buy one of those gigantic ice cubes. That's like the size of a school globe or something. I'm just using shit from the freezer because I'm a budget baller.
Hey, more ice, please.
Oh, Jesus.
Thanks, babe.
You mix. Once you mix it up, the final step is the orange zest. You take orange.
I thought the final step was drinking it, but
you peel it. You twist the orange a little bit. And basically what this is doing is it's getting the scent and the aroma of the citrus inside of it.
Twisting the orange. We're gonna think about
Me, I like a little
for that
orange
later. So
I like a little bit of the orange in it. You don't have to do it. I like it that way.
He likes the orange. I like the cherry. It
so
works.
Boom, and that is an old fashioned, but I'm gonna go ahead and get
Yes,
the bottle
Mark,
off the
we
table.
are breaking out the good stuff. That whiskey was a gift from a friend, Cindy. We love you, Cindy. We don't want to know how much it costs.
So now that we got the drinks made, hopefully you've got your drinks made by now. Of course, we got to go into the fun stuff. We're gonna bring out our sponsors. We got John Oda at Gunner Gray.
Gunner Gray Furniture Fusion. So if y'all like that whole, what is it called? A live edge, a raw edge on tables and everything. A lot of his furniture is custom made, and I'm already eyeballing some of those tables with that live edge because it is absolutely freaking gorgeous, and it's right up my alley because I fancy myself like a Chip and Joanna Gaines kind of gal. So
his furniture looks like stuff that would be like family heirlooms. It's been passed down for like 3 or 4 generations. It is simply amazing stuff.
Really
and then, of course, we are also brought to you by Southpaw Laser Concepts, the company that founded this entire damn podcast. If you ever need any branded hats like this guy here for your company, just give me a call, give me a shout out. Go to getsouthpaw.com. And that's enough of that crap. We are going to get to the actual guest. So now we're going to bring on Mr. Dr. Rob Garcia.
Yay!
Welcome. Say
Hey,
hi.
guys.
Hi, Rob.
Wow. I like the fact that JD mixes 2 drinks that are completely different colors. So let's talk about proportions, man.
No, I muddled the cherry on hers. That's what gave it the pink versus mine.
Yeah. Well, his has a little cute little pink cue to match his eyes. So pretty over there with his beard. But mine's more red. So.
Matches my drawers.
You have pink drawers on?
Yes.
You're wearing drawers? It's fancy.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. We got a couple of people up here saying what they're drinking tonight. Looks like Jeremy's drinking Dr. Pepper. Anybody else? That's it. All right.
So, Rob, let's go ahead and give you a solid 3 minutes to just talk about who you are, your quick background, what businesses you run, what you sell, and your business. Because after that 3 minutes, there's no more shop talk. It's just going to be all the fun background.
Yeah, I understand. And I understand that tonight we're going to be talking about some salacious stuff. So I don't want to give any identifying details. I live in California, and I do some consulting, and that's really all anyone needs to know.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
That's it?
No.
So government, FBI, CAA, just consulting, no big deal.
No. One of the things I do want to bring up, and because it's something that I truly appreciate, like I can't ever say thank you enough, was the fact that, and you've been fairly candid with this in the past, is your learning disabilities, dyslexia, things like that growing up. And when our middle son was going and being diagnosed with
dyslexia,
various
ADHD and dyslexia. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, various learning disabilities, I called you up just to help me explain it to him in a way that he could understand. And that's one of the things that can never be forgotten or paid back, and that's true.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. And it's quite impressive to go from having a learning disability like our son has to getting your PhD. I mean, that in and of itself is quite impressive. So what did you teach? JD said you used to teach.
I taught engineering, believe it or not, and then I taught entrepreneurship and business at the college level. So I've been a high school teacher and a college teacher, and no, I didn't fuck any of my students.
I didn't even ask, but that sweater speaks volumes.
Is that by choice, or is that because no offers?
Hey, you tried, man, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, I got a lot of offers, trust me, and I'm orange is not a good color for me, so I'm just like, yeah.
Okay, so just real quick, everybody that's commenting, if you go to the link that's in the description about the StreamYard.com/Facebook, go there and give it permission to see your name, and then that way we can see your name on the screen, because all I can see is I will
Facebook
show
user.
this. All it shows me is Facebook user, and I can't see who's saying what. So make sure you go and you give it these the permissions so that we can see who's saying what.
Yeah, I see Tammy Moses out there, and I think, was that Wade from Smoke and Bacon making a comment about my
Wade
deceased,
Saxton.
Yep,
Wade
that's Wade
Saxton.
from.
Making a comment about my deceased mother, that son of a bitch. Way to go, Wade.
Wade says, I have a giant set of monkey balls on the screen for you, Rob. Hey, so he's making up for that mom comment. I gotta say, this could be a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
This is gonna be great. So, man, I've got to jump into it.
First, I have a question. What are you drinking, Rob?
I started off with these shitty Truly seltzers, and then I found one White Claw, so I'm keeping it real.
So that's your drink of choice, White Claw.
Yeah, it's what I'm known for, pretty much. But
yeah. So what sorority were you a part of?
That's hilarious. Yeah. Hey, I was there for it. Okay, they don't expect much from us.
Where were you? Which branch?
United States Air Force, the greatest branch of all time.
Oh, that explains so much.
Yep. God bless the chair force.
I don't know. His chair is a lot nicer than ours, so.
Yeah, his chair is way nice. Well, he's also higher ranking than I was.
Oh, really? So. Should you be saluting him? Or?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
No.
You sound like Marines. Was a chair force always a chair force thing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So tell me about your time in the porn industry.
All right. So there have been two times when my life is intersected with the porn industry, and I've had 175 interviews under my belt, JD. This is the first time I've ever told these stories publicly. So the hell with it.
We love that.
Nobody knows who I am, right? I'm totally under the radar. So I'm sure nobody will go out.
Oh yeah, nobody here knows exactly who you are.
Yeah. So I'm just saying right now, if anybody religious is watching right now, it's a fan of mine. Fucking leave now, please. If Annette Wittenberger is here and hears all this, I'm going to be.
Go with God. Go with God. Okay.
Okay.
And also with you.
I love Annette. I just don't want to tarnish her opinion of me any further than it already is.
Got it.
All right. So when I was right before I enlisted, I needed a job. And I was in delayed enlistment. So it means I had like 8 months before my Air Force job opened up. So I'm living in Phoenix, and about 2 miles from my apartment was an adult boutique called Fascinations. So I applied. I got a job there. So it was like an upscale porn store. And it wasn't just like books and magazines. It was the full deal, like arcade with like 30 booths, where married guys would fuck their wives and a bunch of people be watching. It was pretty crazy in the arcade. The arcade was where the action was. And then I was just, the clerk. And
I think I'm too poor to even know where to find those stores.
Did you wax on, wax off?
It was an experience, dude. First of all, even with a nice porn shop, if there is such a thing, I worked nights. So it was like the worst of the degenerates, and it was open like 24 hours. So I would have people coming in once the swinger clubs would close down, and these fucking degenerate losers would pop in at about 2 a.m. and tell me all the fucking fake stories about whatever goes on at the swingers clubs. I don't want to hear any of this shit. It's horrifying. And they just hang out there. What kind of fucking loser comes into a porn shop a Saturday night at actually Sunday morning, 2 a.m. to tell these stories?
Put it down.
Oh my God.
I don't know, but I kind of want to understand that life, not have that life. Just maybe talk to someone about it. Yeah, I found out recently we have these like rubber rings because I work in the medical field. I can't have real rings. Someone told me, "Are you a swinger?" No, why? Apparently the black rings is a signal for swingers, and I didn't know that, but now I know there's
I actually saw
on
on another very large Facebook group. I'm not going to give them a shout out because I'm not getting paid for that. But there's like this huge thing, and apparently pineapples are the sign of swingers. So if you're on a camping trip, or if you're at a bar and you have a pineapple or part of a pineapple or a picture of a pineapple, something like that at the end of your table, that signifies to other swingers
I'm
like,
not
hey,
going
come talk to us.
camping with you anymore because you're gonna do it just to fuck with me. So
Probably.
good.
Well, they've got their own little secret thing. It's kind of like gay guys with the bandanas, because there is an entire, this is something everybody should Google, the gay bandana code. What color and what pocket you wear your bandana in is what act you like to do.
Oh my
I don't
god!
know how I know this, but it's a thing.
Do you have a cheat sheet somewhere over there?
There are trust.
So I have a
There's
question.
also the thing with the rubber bracelets.
I have a question about your porn experience.
Sure.
So how in depth did you personally get with product testing?
So it was when an attractive young female would come in with a vibrator, because we would have to put the batteries in front of her to show her that it worked. And that was like part of our branding, I guess. And so, there'd be some girl who was like 25 and buying this like massive black vibrator. And I'd have to just shove batteries in real casually and try not to like imagine where this thing's going to be in an hour. And give it the test run and show her that it physically works. So
did you actually hold it like that?
Yeah, hold it like a lightsaber, just kind of wave it at her.
Oh, wow. Did you make the noise of whoa, whoa, whoa?
Yeah. But that was definitely one of the more embarrassing things that we had to do. We had cameras all throughout the arcade, because that's where the majority of shenanigans would occur, is the arcade.
And you had to watch the cameras all night with all these indigent people in there banging.
We had to, and it was always easy to tell, because a married couple would go into a booth, and then there'd be like 4 or 5 guys like outside the booth, like sharks, just kind of circling around. And that usually meant that the couple was banging in the booth.
Wow. And who had to clean these booths? I want to know. Was that you, Rob? Did you have to clean the booths when they were done?
I'm trying to remember. Honestly? I'm pretty sure we contracted that out, thank God.
Oh, thank God, yeah.
Yeah, employees are just salespeople.
Because, I mean, come on. There's worse things than coronavirus out there.
Yeah.
And it's what's in that booth.
Yeah. And the you'd go in the arcade once in a while to check around on stuff, and just all the screens would have contributions.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to bring this up. Scott, I'm not going to say where we know each other from, because it's not the appropriate place, because
what kind of inappropriate places are you?
No, it's not the appropriate place for this podcast to explain where we know each other from. Just kind of like Rob's not going to get too deep into his background because of the content here.
It is from like a
he's like, where did you
place.
find this guy? So Rob and I have actually been friends for about 3 years.
God.
Started
Annette, go home. Just turn this off. I called 10 minutes ago.
Oh no.
But we've been running in the same business circles for about 3 years, and it started off as a business relationship, turned into a really good friendship. He's a great mentor when it comes to learning certain things. So
yeah, Miss Annette said I will never be able to look at Rob the same way again. Me neither, Annette. Me neither.
Oh, after hearing some of these stories, I wish he wasn't in San Diego, just so I can give him like a legit high five. Like,
thanks, JD. You just identified my city, so way to go.
Hey, San Diego, Texas is like 15 minutes from here.
That's true. Very, very true.
What are you doing?
I'm playing.
Just playing with buttons just to see
yes, I am. I like to push JD's buttons. That's how this works.
So what? I'm going to shift gears here real quick.
Sure.
What is the worst piece of advice you've ever received in your life? And it doesn't have to be business. It doesn't have to be, it's whatever subject you want it to be on. What is the worst piece of advice you've ever received in your life?
God, that's such a good question. I honestly feel like it's you need to get married or there's something wrong with you.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's like the old school mentality though too. It's
wow.
Like not to be culturally insensitive, but it's like the old Italian ladies you'd see on like Goodfellas and things like that. Like, oh, I'm never gonna have a grandbaby.
Well, Rob, I told you off camera about my grandmother, my dirty grandmother, the one who didn't get married to her 30s, but for some reason she would tell me, "Oh, baby, you're never gonna get a man with those nails." And I was like, "Wow, bitch, just wow." Okay, look, I have really terrible nails. All right, I still landed a mansicle after yourself, but I love you, Grandma.
Yeah, and it just it is an antiquated way of thinking, and it is prevalent in Italian, Hispanic communities where it's just like, oh hey, if you don't get married by 40, there's something wrong with you. And I really like that Oprah and Cosmo really pushed this out. If a guy hasn't been married in his 40s, obviously there's some fucking weird thing with him. But I never got married. I never had kids. I'm 44 now, and actually I'm pretty fucking happy.
I think it's more women. I think men can be single until they're like 60 and they're like, hey, he's a bachelor, he's George Clooney. I think women have it a little more difficult. I think that, and especially with having babies and stuff, it's like, oh, they could be with a guy forever, not married, but like, okay, well, when are you going to get married? When are you going to have babies? And there's always that push. Like
I would completely disagree, especially in today's day and age, it's a lot more socially acceptable for a woman to put off having children so that she can pursue her career and be a strong, independent woman. I think not in this area of the country.
I think in this area, I work in a NICU. I work with newborn babies, so I see a lot of labor and delivery. In this area of Texas or this area of the country, we just have a lot of teen pregnancy still, young 20s having babies. So here, I think it's, if you get to your 30s, it's odd. But if in Austin, when we lived there, it was perfectly normal to be 50 and having your first kid. So I really think it's regionally as well.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Teen pregnancies, the high school that I went to had so many teen pregnancies that they actually had their own school bus. There was a specific school bus just for pregnant girls. They had tinted windows, air conditioner, nice cushy seats. So I'm like, what the fuck? Out here I am riding a bus where you're getting your head out the window to breathe.
I grew up in a very hick town, like 2,500 people. Our pregnant teens had to go to ISS.
Oh, they had an entire pregnant wing. Like there was an outbuilding dedicated just for them. They had their own daycare.
Well, good for them.
Yeah. I lived in a really high class town, by the way. Beeville, Texas. Google it.
There's people from Beeville. I think
they will agree. It is a shithole.
Well, I grew up in an equally awful shithole in California called Eureka. It's a logging town, and there's no industry. And if you have all your teeth, you're considered successful.
Oh my gosh.
So do you want to take us back a little bit? I've heard part of these stories from back in the day, but is there anything you want to bring up as far as that and how it got you to where you're at now?
Yeah. I mean, for those of you that don't know me, and these comments are great, by the way. Somebody said something about my fucking dimples, which is just
that was Jen. Jennifer May said that.
Yeah. What a worthless attractive feature on men. But women, love it sometimes. So
then you should take advantage of it, dude. And
yeah. It just always, it's one of those things that bugs me. It's one of those things I don't give a shit about getting compliments on. I mean, I appreciate it, but it's just nothing that's like, I'd rather like somebody like me because I'm smart or like
there goes this cue card.
Amazing. So I did grow up in this terrible logging town called Eureka, California. It's in Humboldt County, which is the pot capital of California. And a lot of my friends were stoners, got into heavy drugs. The newest building that is nice is the jail. That's where they put all their money into for all the drifters and transients. And the societal center of town is either the Target or the Costco. And I left at 19, got the fuck out, never went back. So JD, I feel you on small towns and the small town mentality. And I grew up with a lot of shitty kids in high school. And I'm really happy to say that all the girls that were super mean to me are all fat and divorced now. And it feels amazing.
Oh my goodness. So you gonna ask some of your shit there?
What?
Didn't you have the opposite of that one?
Oh yeah, sorry. I am too busy playing with electronics like a fucking teenager and not paying attention. Mouse. Sorry about that. So JD asked about the worst advice you ever received. What's the best advice you ever got? Putting you on the spot, I know.
Best advice I ever received is don't have kids.
Oh wow, it's like the opposite. Oh,
So
cool.
so your best and worst are truly related. It's
yeah. My 13-year-old asked me the other day. He's like, "So if you and Dad like saved all the money you spent on us through the years, would y'all be like millionaires?" And I was like, "Oh, don't make me regret you so soon." But I love you. You're my heart. But probably, yeah.
Yeah. My sister has 2 teen boys, and so I got to see firsthand when I lived with them for 3 months after the Middle East, like what it's like having teenagers in the house. I was like, oh God, I made one good choice in life.
Well, your sister's on my prayer list now because I have 1 teen so far and 2 not far for that.
Oh, ever since I read the blurb when your sister was visiting about the can of rosé, I have not been able to stop. A can
bringing it up to me
of rosé. Like I've got to go find some. I don't even drink wine, but if I can go, I want it.
JD once upon a time asked me what I wanted from the liquor store, and I said I wanted wine. He comes home with a box of wine, and I said, "You know what, baby? That is classy as fuck. Like there is nothing more romantic than a box of wine on a Friday night." So when he came, so I guess after he saw the podcast, he goes, "Hey, baby, how about I get you a can of rosé?" And I'm like, "Well, way too sexy. I might get pregnant again. Let's time out there."
And Didi forgot the most important part. That can of rosé was opened at 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning.
I want to be your sister. She's my spirit animal.
She's my spirit animal too.
This bitch is on the couch. I'm upstairs, up there in my loft. She's on the couch here at the window, and I just hear, and I'm like,
oh my God.
That's a challenge. And so the first thing I did is I mixed a vodka soda double. And then I just went to 2 different kinds of craft beers. And I was very happily throwing up by about 11:30 after we watched dodgeball. It was a rough day.
My grandfather always said, only alcoholics drink by the clock. And stuck with me.
But I think my grandfather, great grandfather lived to be in his 90s. And I asked him, typical, I'm a young, up and coming young gentleman, and he's old and wise and the fucking Yoda of my family. And so what is the secret to living as long? Well, shot of brandy, a fried egg, and bacon every morning for breakfast.
I like
right?
that.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I don't know, but I'm on a diet, and I've been living on a diet for 2 years. I literally made chicken and dumplings for dinner tonight and was talking dirty to it. I'm like, yeah, bitch, I'm taking my Invisalign out just to try you. So I really can't say anything. I mean, I can eat eggs and bacon, but the brandy, woo.
So for those of us that are joining us, this is obviously our first interview with a guest ever. Y'all don't know what to expect. Our guests don't know what to expect. But one of the staples we're going to do every single episode is would you rather questions. It's always going to be, and the fun thing is, it's not, we're just going to ask them. All of us here have to answer it.
And
so we're all equally.
Mine aren't dirty, but wow, did Rob have some great suggestions before the show started.
So Rob and Kat.
Oh, no.
Would you rather have everyone you know be able to read your thoughts, or everyone you know have access to your internet history?
Read my thoughts.
Yes.
I'm the opposite. I would rather them see my search history because my mom would probably be like, I knew it. But my thoughts, they're pretty bad. They're like worse than the things I Google. So I would say I would rather them see my internet search history.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really just depends on what you're more of a degenerate at. And I have some pretty terrible thoughts that would probably get me fired from some jobs. But my search history is not angelic. We'll just leave it at that.
Lucy is on the same page as me. Lucy said internet history. I completely agree. And it's because I have Look, okay, poor JD. I haven't even reached my sexual peak yet. I have a very, very filthy mind. And I'm not just talking about like JD, and he knows this. Like, I have dirty, bad thoughts constantly. So it's really not my fault. It's a bad habit I'm trying to break. I really am. But if people could read my thoughts, they would be like, I can't be in the same room with this woman. She's undressing me with her eyes. And that's probably like my best friend.
Your mom says internet history too.
Oh, my mom says internet history. Thoughts would really get us in trouble, she said. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, even
like
Fritz agrees with me. Man,
wait,
y'all have bad internet history.
Is it incognito mode or not?
Yeah, somebody knows.
Well.
That is awesome. Yeah. No, it's legit. Everything you've ever done on the internet ever in your entire life.
You can't wear a foil
including
hat.
Including when you first got on the internet, when it was an AOL DVD from way back when.
It's on dial-up, okay?
So what's your would you rather?
Yeah, and then Caitlin says that my internet history is pretty vanilla. My actual thoughts are, you just moved it where I couldn't see it,
No, it's on the...
are definitely more dangerous. Agreed. Okay, so my would you rather is more like, hopefully a more thought-inducing than internet search history. So would you rather skydive without a parachute, knowing that someone is going to catch you before you hit the ground, or would you rather be standing in front of a very high speeding train, knowing someone's going to push you out of the way at the last minute?
The train. Skydiving, I'd have longer to think about.
See, I thought the opposite. Well, I don't know. JD, what do you think first before I spread my thoughts everywhere, all over y'all's faces?
I would do the train just because if that person's going to catch me, if I was jumping out of a plane, there's less variables to go wrong in front of a train.
See,
it's simple.
My thought process is, I have heard of people skydiving and their parachute malfunctioned and they survived, but a speeding train, I've never heard of someone not in a vehicle that got hit by a speeding train and survived. So to me, I'm like, I think my chances of survival might be a little higher if I went skydiving without a parachute. Maybe not. But it would be a beautiful ride on the way down. So there you go. Just know I died happy. I don't know.
I don't know. The skydiving would be kind of cool just to be able to fall forever and knowing you'll be safe at the end. I think that would be cool. Kind of cool.
Fingers crossed. Unless the guy was, watching Tales from the Barstool and drinking that before, and then who knows?
Yeah.
So
speaking of fucking train wrecks, welcome to Southpaw's Tales from the Barstool.
Speaking of train wrecks, Rob, that's a nice sweater. That's it. Tell me a story about that sweater.
Well, I definitely don't wear this out on dates. Let's start there.
Oh, well then I'm out.
There's nothing that makes a vagina shrivel faster than any type of Marvel apparel on a grown ass man in his early 40s or 30s. But yeah, so I special ordered this for my Christmas party for a Facebook group I run, which won't be identified tonight. But yeah.
It's awesome how everything that's tied to you is like, nope, fuck that, off limits. Except for everything that's personal. That's all cool. But...
No, I think it's okay. Like, you're drinking from a Christmas mug. You're drinking, no offense, a kind of a bitch drink, and you're wearing the sweater and everything. Are you stuck in Christmas? Is that what's happening? Like, what's happening?
I think it's really interesting that you noticed those two, because I didn't even think about it subconsciously. I just wanted something interesting to drink out of tonight, and then I wanted to wear something kind of fun. But both like for Christmassy. I still have Christmas decorations up, and we're almost in fucking March now. I'm that guy. When do you guys do Christmas decks?
You know what, Rob? You did that subconsciously because you're a gift, my man. You are a gift.
Is that
what did you ask?
When do you guys take down Christmas decorations?
JD makes us do it the day after
the 26th.
New Year's. Well, no, you let me go.
No, it's after you get over the New Year's hangover.
JD's a Nazi when it comes to letting me put up decorations and take them down. Like, I like to put up by seasons, okay? So each season has 3 months, and that's how it works. So it's like, December, January, February is winter, And then it's March, April, May, which is spring, and then June, July, August, which is summer. And I think that that's how and then of course the rest is autumn. And you should be able to decorate for those 3 months. But he's like, it's not fucking December. Why is there shit up? And I'm just like, because it's nice.
Texas Rangers shit from March till October, because that's the season. That's baseball season.
Okay. If I see you watch one baseball game in this house, I will let you decorate for the Rangers. But you don't watch it in this house, so
No. It's not the fact that I watch it. It's the fact that that's the season of it. I'm going by your.
Okay, but I'm a fan of holidays. You're clearly not a fan of the Rangers because you don't watch them.
All right, so let's focus on our guest here.
Sorry, Rob.
So what is the deal with the Iron Man? I've seen you with Iron Man shirts, the Iron Man mask, the all kinds of. It's always somewhere.
Is it
in your various podcasts and lives?
Are you Iron Man?
I have to say, and it's funny, the last item I bought, special made, I had to order this off the internet as well. Look at this. Yeah.
Awesome.
There's something wrong with me, but I just kind of enjoy it because we turn to superheroes as a reflection of ourselves. So I know a guy that worships Batman. Like, he likes Batman more than I like Iron Man. He's got like belt buckles and shit, and he really wants to live like Bruce Wayne. But a lot of us, turn to superheroes, and we like superhero movies because that's who we wish we were, or that's who we want to be more like, I guess.
So Mark said nerd chicks might dig it. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, look, like I told you before the show, I dressed to impress you, Rob. JD said you had a crush on me, and he showed me your pictures, and I was like, you know what? No offense to like not attractive people. I'm not saying that is not a compliment when someone says that I'm good looking, but if that person is good looking as well, it just makes the compliment mean a little bit more. It's not my fault. This is not, I'm so sorry. I'm probably insulting someone right now. I'm sorry. But I saw his picture and I was like, hey, you tell him thank you.
It's fine. Ugly people don't count.
Oh, Joseph Dean.
Hey, everybody's beautiful in their own way. Isn't that how the song goes? I'm sure there's a song that goes like that.
You know what? Like I told Rob before the show, coronavirus wasn't necessarily a good thing because we all had to wear masks and work on our personalities again. So, hi. All right. Let's see. What's next?
What's next is, I know what's next. JD, you got something? Because I have a few stories about the Porno Tales Part 2.
Oh, yeah. Because you went from porn store to porn business.
Right.
How did you make that transition?
So Part 1 was working in a porn store for like 8-9 months, and then I joined the Air Force. And then I get out. I have to be real careful telling this story because I dated someone, and we'll just say they were a 34I, so God bless them. Yeah, India.
Actually, God bless them, not the doctor bless them.
You're talking size.
Natural.
Whoa.
All and after this, I'm going to send JD a picture privately to share it so you guys can see.
Okay, good. As long as we both get to see it.
And the point is, she did some modeling, and we ended up. She wasn't a porn star, but she did, topless modeling, whatever. And we ended up at a porn shoot in Florida, and the dynamic is interesting. And so what happens is you get in this van with like 7 other people.
Sketchy.
They drive you to this amazing mansion that's been rented for the shoot. I really hope Annette's not watching this because this is going to be very embarrassing. Anyway, so they drive us to this mansion, and there's like 7 people there because they're going to shoot an adult film. And so, the girl I was dating was just going to do topless stuff in the pool. So we get there, and I'm talking to this guy in the van. He's real clean cut. He's about 28. He's got cargo shorts on. He's like 5'8", small guy. And we're just talking about he's talking about quantum physics or something, or the universe. Like, he's actually a pretty bright dude. And I thought he was like the cameraman or something. And so we get there. They unload all the gear, and they're getting ready because there are a couple different shoots going on at the same time. And the guy I was talking to in the van walks out naked. And Kat, this is what I thought. Literally, he had a hog that puts mine to shame. And I was like, oh, he's the talent. And so he walks
He's the fluffer.
He's the talent.
he walks out, and you take whatever I've got and you multiply by 2.5, and that's about what this guy was packing. And he was like a short dude at like 5'8", and I was like, God bless you. You know, you definitely have a gift, sir, for your industry. And he walked out, and I got the privilege of watching them make a feature film of him with a 62-year-old. And what's interesting was that her husband was watching from the sides. And I learned a new term I'd never known: suitcase pimp. And so a suitcase pimp is the male manager of the female talent who travels around the country, and they're kind of swingers, and he just pimps out his wife. And
what do they make? They make good money?
I'm not sure. I'd have to ask. But so the performer comes out, they do their thing for a while, and he's having trouble finishing the job. He goes outside, he's sitting there, comes back in, conducts himself like a pro, finishes, and then afterwards he's sitting there with his head in his hands, and he's like, "That, Rob, that's the ugliest woman I've ever had sex with in my life." And he's crushed. He is crushed. He's literally, his soul hurts. And I felt bad for him because I forgot to mention this. When we got there, I was there with my chick, the 34i, tall blonde. And when we walked in, that guy looked at the director and he's like, "Oh, is that who I'm working with?" He was all happy. He's like, "Oh, is that who I'm working with today?" And the director's like, "No, yours is over there." And he pointed to a 62-year-old, and the guy was just so crushed.
So yeah, we had a different girl, but we ordered her on Wish, and we got her. So Mark asked, JD, are you looking for a job? No, JD was asking for me. I'm going to be the suitcase pimp. JD's going to be the one I'm pimping out.
Fuck, if
he's got a very nice gams. He's got
I have
great gams.
sexy gams.
Super
Damn
sexy.
sure.
If he let me shave them, they'd be even hotter. So
I love it. Second career. So yeah, that was my experience on an actual shoot, seeing what goes on behind the scenes of all those dirty videos you kids are watching at night.
And you retired after one day, huh? Didn't go back for more?
Yeah, that was it.
That was it. See,
you could have been the fluffer in the back helping the guy finish. It would have been really romantic. That would have been a really romantic end of that story.
Well, what's the old cliche where it's like, never meet your hero because you'll be sorely disappointed. So I guess that's kind of the being behind the scenes of a porn shoot would be just like,
yeah. How did your internet history look after that experience?
Yeah, exactly. He did say to me, he's like, "Dude, you know, I could get you some work if you worked out a little." And I was like,
okay, that's mean. Okay.
Hey, I've earned every part of this second trimester belly.
I put that weight on you. So yeah. I take that personally. I would take that personally as his wife. I'd be like, screw you, man. He was like, JD was manorexic when we got together. So
I was 23 when we met and we started dating. I just got out of the Air Force.
I was 18, and he had a van that said free candy, and I really liked candy. So
yeah, I was one of those guys in the military that gets double rats because he could not gain weight. So like most people get X amount of food. They're trying to fatten me up, so I had to eat twice as much as everybody else. I had, extra time to eat during basic, all this good stuff, but I just could not gain weight. And now I'm a fat fuck because she cooks really, really good.
Nice.
Yet somehow I'm able to lose weight even with my cooking. So what's your excuse?
You started losing weight a long time before I did.
I started losing weight. Were you on the rig?
You started working out before I did.
That's
so. I just started, and it sucks, but I'm feeling better.
It takes work when you get a little older, and I've been a big muscular guy, and I've been a really, really thin guy about 10 years ago, and now I'm just kind of right in the middle, and just it's a bitch when you hit your 40s. It really does. Everything kind of slows down.
Oh God. So okay, I'm the token bitch on the show because there's no other females. So I'm going to say something, and I don't care if it makes you feel uncomfortable. When I breastfed my two older ones, I dropped the baby weight super fast. I had one baby in my 30s, and I could not get that weight off. I even let JD continue to breastfeed, still couldn't get the weight off. It was just terrible. So
She
it was
hasn't weaned me
30s.
yet.
So it's 30s with women when their metabolism starts slowing down. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So I want to introduce the next section that we're going to do in every single podcast here.
Oh, I'm going to get so many comments.
Oh,
Okay, go for it. Go for it. Go.
This next section is where I'm just going to seriously piss everybody off. My guest is going to piss everybody off. My wife is going to.
We're also going to piss everybody.
Yeah, we're going to piss everybody off because I can't talk.
Like a Pez dispenser.
So this next thing is unpopular opinions. So what we want to do is something that you believe with every fiber of your being that contradicts what everybody else thinks.
Yeah.
And Rob, we'll let you start on this one. What is an unpopular opinion that you hold,
we need the
and why do you hold it?
MLMs aren't real business models, and I think no one should have anything to do with them.
What aren't?
Say that again.
MLMs, multi-level marketing, are not real business models, and I feel like
I agree 1 gazillion %. You're not a business owner if you're peddling some other business's shit.
Yes.
And having to pay them to do so. I agree.
Yes.
And
it is not your business, even though they try to make it seem like your business. I was a part of one, and I'm not going to say the name of it.
It's the only.
It rhymes with fairy flay.
Yeah. It's looking at it big picture. Low profit margins. You have to pay to join. You have to recruit people. You have to do all this stuff, and they pretty much set you up to fail. And the only people that make money are the ones that get in, like when it first starts, and they recruit their family members.
Well, that's the thing. If you keep recruiting, you're going to make a fortune, but you're screwing everybody underneath you. And a lot of times they don't care about the people underneath them. They just want to see those sales so that they get paid for doing jack shit.
And
Keith says, "Feel you 100% on."
Well, one thing that isn't really touched on, and it's actually a very, very hot topic on multiple levels right now, is the mental health. And with you being in it for that year plus minus that you were active doing it, it really affects the mental health, the way that the higher ups treat the people below them to coerce them to do things.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And Caitlin says that's not an unpopular opinion. That's a majority opinion. Yeah, you'd think that, but there's a lot that are still buying into it, and they will defend it to their core, believe it or not.
There's a lot of people.
But good for you for knowing.
That say that I'm a business owner because I work for X, energy electrical company that's trying to just sell you their crap.
Yeah.
Or X makeup company or clothing company or whatever the case may be. You give us money to get your own webpage going, but you buy our own shit.
With that being said, you do you. You make the money how you want to make the money. You want to go out there and hustle and sell clothes or makeup owned by a different company, and you be your own and act like your own boss. Good for you. You know what? Everybody has their own hustles, their own side hustles. So you do what you want to do. We're not judging on that. We're just saying that, yeah.
I got to bring this up.
Oh, no.
Oh, not that one. I clicked on the wrong one. So Wade says, Jesus Christ, I was an Air Force bounce and run if I ever seen one for when Rob jumped up to run.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
so apparently his own unpopular opinion made him leave the room.
Pyramid schemes. You're not allowed to call them pyramid schemes anymore. Pyramid schemes are illegal. That's what they'll do. It's multi-level marketing.
So
it's the same shit.
While he's out of the room, I'm going to go ahead and share my unpopular opinion. And we will bring him up to date when he comes back. I'm sure he'll have an opinion about it. Everybody does. My unpopular opinion. I don't like Pulp Fiction. Okay, now everybody give it to me. I know. I know. I get it from everybody. I don't like Pulp Fiction. So go ahead and lay into my ass, people, and shoo me out. Go ahead. I'm waiting for it. So I don't like it. I'm not a big Quentin Tarantino anyway. There's some things I like from him. Like he does Reservoir Dogs, right? And like his section, The Four Rooms. Love it. Love that movie. But I don't like Pulp Fiction. It's a train wreck movie. I'm not big into train wreck movies. Oh, hey, someone said me either. Oh, that's my parents. Hey, I took after them by one thing. I don't look like these people. I don't act like these people, but we both don't like Pulp Fiction. They might actually be my parents after all. Hey, I'm just kidding.
Rob, what's your thought on her unpopular opinion?
Pulp Fiction's a weird movie. I can't, as much as I want to disagree, I can't really find fault with her opinion on that one because it is a strange movie in the way that it's made, and some of it's just like really fucking disturbing.
Yeah, and it bounces around, and it's like I don't know.
Oh, like I think it was a great cinematic achievement.
I think Quentin Tarantino just
completely
gets a little
changed
gross
the way a
for the
lot of
sake of being
filmmaking
gross,
is done
a little
now.
sexual for the sake of being sexual. Sorry, it's my opinion. Damn. All right, who else? Oh, Mark is calling me out. Boo! Great film. Hate Tarantino. Oh, what?
So.
What? Oh yeah. Oh, JD's is bad too.
So for those of you that don't know, I was born and raised in South Texas, and what I'm going to say is probably going to get me shot, stabbed, hanged.
I disagree with JD's opinion, just like he does.
Run over, dragged behind a horse, like
just
anything. I think brisket is overrated.
For shame.
I think it's trash meat. Like it's when it's done right, which is very, very, very rare that it is done right. It can be great, but I'm not big on really fatty meats.
He doesn't like barbacoa either, and I love that shit.
Oftentimes it's just dry. It's overcooked. It's crappy.
You've had bad brisket.
It's a lot of work for a little bit of fucking food.
That's ribs and like I don't know, chicken wings. So, I can understand you making that comment, but brisket.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If somebody gives me free food, I'm not gonna turn it down, regardless what it is.
Oh, someone agrees with JD.
Who was it?
I don't know. Oh yeah, here it is, Lindsay.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. There is good brisket. There's good lean briskets. I've had it, but I don't think that it is the end all be all perfect barbecue meat that everybody makes it out to be.
So Lindsay Scotton, my best friend, said, "I agree with you, JD. It's not my favorite." Wow, I'm surprised.
Especially because Lindsay's husband is a competition barbecue guy. Like he's there every weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Jennifer says, "I agree, JD Tierney, so overrated."
High five, Jennifer. I love that.
Oh, who said? Wait
a minute. No, no, not this one. This one. Okay, no one said Texas is overrated. Texas. Don't be jelly. Okay, it's just not attractive. It's just not.
You know.
Yeah, that's a bold stance, dude.
Right? Yeah, that is an unpopular opinion right there. That Texas is overrated. Look, we have everything: teen pregnancy, prisons. Like, what do you want from us, man?
GD came out swinging. That'd be like me saying I hate California burritos. You know, like California burritos suck.
What's California burrito?
It's a specialized burrito that is. Some of them are good and some of them aren't. But you have to find a certain kind. It's like a really thick burrito with a mix of like carne asada and potatoes and cilantro. Like a lot. It's the one thing we sell at San Diego State are like this big around. They're huge.
All of that sounds awesome, though. I love cilantro.
Or it's like fish tacos in California.
On anything, and I'll probably try it.
Like, have you ever had a taco in LA? Those who watch Letterkenny totally get that one.
Oh, we've got a good unpopular opinion. Move your damn hand.
Oh wait.
That one. Daniel McDonald says.
Daniel.
Whataburger sucks.
Daniel, for shame.
He said that in Texas.
He's from our hometown, babe.
Oh no. That's funny though. Actually, I haven't ate Whataburger in I try not to eat Whataburger. I worked at Whataburger in high school, and ever since I don't really, once you see how the beef is made, you're just like not like literally. It's fine. They're healthy. I'm sure, but they're not healthy. It's gross, and I don't eat it. It's just I don't know if I burned myself out or what, So I agree with you, but it is an unpopular opinion, Daniel, and I would never say it out loud. So good for you for having the cojones to say that on a live podcast. All right.
So, Rob, you and I were both Air Force.
Yes.
So I can ask you these questions because we're on the same level. But
did he see one up close?
Is Qatar really a deployment, dude?
Damn.
What is
right.
what is what? What did you say?
Qatar in the it's like the Ritz-Carlton of the Middle East.
Yeah.
Oh.
All the veterans are going to understand exactly what we're talking about. So, fuck, dude, that hurts me because it's so it's so factual. So for those of you that don't know, for the dirty civilians watching, Qatar is like the vacation base. Now, first of all, it's an air base. So JD understands what I mean when I say air base. It means that the Marines and the soldiers are mystified when they walk on and they actually have like nice rooms to sleep in and a chow hall that actually has real food that doesn't come out of a box, like hot food. Is it a real deployment? I mean, it categorically it is, but it didn't feel like it. It really did, it really did feel like there were a lot of fucking amenities. There were 2 swimming pools there. There were a couple of gyms. We were allowed 3 drinks a day. And anyone that's gone to Afghanistan can't drink at all, or Iraq or any place.
I think I'm ready to serve now.
If you want to be pampered and actually remember what it's like to be human, just join the Air Force. So, to answer JD's question, is it a real deployment? I would say no. It was pretty soft. I recognized it.
Now I did a deployment to Saudi Arabia. I went to Escon Village. It was similar to Qatar, where we had 5-bedroom villas. I had my own room. There was an Olympic-sized heated swimming pool, a softball field, a putt-putt. The PX was shitty.
So us dirty civilians are going to interrupt you for just a second. Lindsay, I completely agree. Pineapple belongs on pizza.
No. Outside of the tomato sauce, no fruits and vegetables belong on pizzas, period. Meats and cheeses.
So since you're talking about the Air Force, what is the key thing you think you learned from serving our country? It doesn't have to be serious.
Yeah.
Like JD always said, he realized the important necessity of owning more pairs of socks. So good for him.
Key thing I learned is just that veterans are a different breed. They're either on both sides of the spectrum. You're going to meet both. You're going to meet the ones that are trying to fuck your sister, and you're going to meet the ones you're going to wake up in a jail cell with. So
yeah,
Jody's got your girl, man.
Jody's got your girl.
So JD went through veteran counseling. It has been going for years. Well, they require you to go through some marriage counseling so that the wives know what to expect with veterans. And I was like, yeah, a lot of this I already know. Like, y'all have to, like, we go into a restaurant. It's not just walking into a restaurant. He has to pick his spot because he needs to see every exit. He needs to see every entrance. He needs to make sure his back isn't to the most sketchy guy in the room. It's a process. So you just have to sit back. Like, so now the kids just know we're just going to stand here and wait till dad picks his spot and, checks the weather conditions, whatever the fuck he does. And then
establishing a perimeter. Let me help you out.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You gotta know all your ways to egress. You have to know any kind of soft targets. You have to know.
It doesn't matter
weapons.
It doesn't matter what the conversation is. If he disagrees with me, I get the knife hand.
Yep.
Because apparently everything needs the knife hand.
Targets of opportunity. I get it. I mean, JD had an aggressive job. I didn't, but I get where he's coming from. Like, he actually carried a weapon, whereas I was just like a nerd that worked on B-52s.
Now, I did stand underneath him at one point, standing on the flight line with an M16 like this, just counting rivets for 12 fucking hours a night. Oh.
Jennifer is asking if we can get the Air Force salute to the end of the show.
I have no clue what an Air Force salute is unless it's like that. But that being said, we can show them.
Scott says that's how I am.
We can show them. We can end the show with the German salute.
Yeah, we can do that with our fancy new glasses. Yeah, we can do that.
My glass is empty. You're gonna have to So, as we're rolling to an end, do you have anything else that you want to bring up here, Rob, tonight before we close out for the night?
Just want to thank you. Thank you guys for having me on. And JD, I've been letting this run through my head for this entire time, trying to figure out how you landed this smoking hot wife, and it had to be a beret with the Air Force uniform. Cops wear berets. That's the only reason I can figure this out.
No, I actually met him after he got out, so I didn't see him in the beret until I saw pictures later. So it wasn't that. He did not have a job. He didn't have a car. He didn't have his own place, but he played guitar. And apparently,
did he tell you the band is going to make it? Did
yeah.
Like try and move into your house, like rent a room.
Oh, but he had the ideas of a band. I mean, I'd pay for our first like 4 dates and stuff.
Hey, but they were really good dates.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna take you out and let you supersize. I had to pick him up and I had to pay, and I was like, I'll let you supersize, bitch. Like, I don't know, it was really romantic.
Yeah, it was really good.
Really romantic.
So, Rob, I definitely want to thank you for coming on, putting up with the train wreck. We're still kind of figuring this out. Hopefully, there weren't too many lulls or dead spots in the conversation. We kind of talked over each other a few times. That we're just getting used to it, still figuring it out.
Who cares? That's how
it was
life
fun.
Too.
It was a blast, and I definitely thank you for coming on and being the very first guest for Southpaw's Tales for the Barstool. Be sure to share it because
I look forward to hitting on you again, Rob.
Yeah, proudest moment, embarrassing myself in front of Annette Wittenberger. Thanks, guys.
I'm going to take screenshots and totally tag you and her together for the next week.
Awesome.
Maybe we'll interview her and ask her some really terrible questions about her experience in the porn industry.
Oh my God, Annette, please message me if you want to be on the show.
Message us. We'd love to.
Speaking of which, Annette, your hats ship out tomorrow, by the way. So I'm glad you're going to be happy with that.
No.
Hey, it saves me a message.
JD sells hats, by the way, in case anybody didn't know that. It's called Southpaw. He sells hats.
That guy.
Yeah.
Wait, there you go.
Yeah.
That guy over there. But since we were asked to close, I don't know what the Air Force salute is, even though I was in the Air Force. But when I was in Germany, I learned this really cool toast thingy, and I taught it to her, and it's something that we've done for years. So that's how we're going to close this out. So
I have no idea.
So we're going to do it slow one time and explain what it is, and then we'll do it quickly. But so you tap, top, tap, bottom, tap, right, tap, left, tap, top, bottom, right, left, tap, tap, swirl. And I learned that when I was in Germany in the Air Force by a bunch of Germans, just getting shitty drunk.
They love JD because he was from Texas. How y'all doing?
So let's do it the quick way, and we're going to close it out. Ready?
Part of that was right. Rob, thank you so much for being on our show. We really appreciate it and had a lot of fun.
Thanks, guys.
Rob. Thank you. Thank everybody for tuning in.
Like, dude, drinks. Stop drinking that White Claw stuff. It'll put you in menopause really early. Don't do it.
So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you again, Rob. We'll catch you again next week at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time every Tuesday from here on out. Thank you, guys. Love y'all. We'll catch y'all later. Bye.